Well, things change quickly sometimes. Trade deadline night, and we do have some breaking news related to the Red Sox.
This is Breaking Sports News.
Powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
On 98.5, The Sports Hub.
Red Sox making another move to bolster their bullpen. John Heyman, first to report 3 minutes ago. Luis Garcia, a relief pitcher for the Angels, headed to the Red Sox. That's the information we have so far. But once again, Craig Breslow making two moves now today to improve the Red Sox bullpen. They have added right-handed reliever Luis Garcia. 6'2", 240. He's a 8-year Major League vet. 12-year Major League vet. 5-1 for the Angels this year with a 3.71 ERA. He has 4 saves. He's kind of a back-end sort of the bullpen type of guy, setup guy, middle relief guy. But he's a big league pitcher. The Red Sox have gone out and have acquired a big league pitcher tonight. They've acquired 2 of them. Luis Garcia, the latest move, right-handed reliever coming over from the Angels to the Red Sox. So there you have it, the latest on the trading deadline here on the Baseball Hour. It's Matt McCarthy in for Tony Maserati. Jimmy, you asked me this question before the show. How much is enough for the Red Sox? How much is enough for you to come in here tonight and say they did the job? And my answer is a little bit more than this. A little bit more than this. These moves are good on the margins. They have addressed their biggest need in the short term, which is bullpen. Had they done this a week ago, the Red Sox would not be 3-7 in their last 10 games. This, however, was not their biggest need overall. When Martin and Jansen come back, the Red Sox will be in a better spot in their bullpen. They need help. They've added help. So they've done some stuff on the margins here. Is it wrong of me to feel underwhelmed by this deadline? Wrong of me to feel underwhelmed at all? And I don't think so. In the grand scheme of things, this is a perfectly fine trading deadline. That's the way to sum this up. This is a perfectly fine trading deadline, and we'll see if the Red Sox do anything here in the next few minutes as news trickles in. They have improved their bullpen. They've added 2 guys who belong in a big league bullpen. They have desperately needed that. That should help them win games in the interim. What they have not done, to me, is restore any level of excitement and faith in the franchise. And that was what this trading deadline had the opportunity to be. If you did something a little bit bigger than this, you would have said, okay, I want to buy in as a Red Sox fan. Instead, they made some good moves on the margins, and they are good moves. They are better than they were 5 days ago. But are they better enough? That's the question we need to ask tonight. Are the Red Sox better enough to make the playoffs? But perhaps even more importantly, to make you believe. To make you believe in what they're doing. To get you excited as a Red Sox fan. Our biggest moment today was at 5 o'clock when John Paul Morosi tweeted out, erroneously, might I add, that Roman Anthony had been scratched at the lineup in AA Portland. All of a sudden, you were excited. Ooh, what are they doing? This has to be something big. Anthony's getting traded. He's a blue chip prospect. They must be getting a legitimate front line of the rotation starter. A number 1, a number 2, a guy you're going to build around for years to come. Nope, not that. You got 90 seconds of it before Red Sox beat writers in droves came out and said, by the way, that's not happening.
Correction, actually, Felger had it first.
You're right. Mike Felger had it first. He said, hold on, let's go and see if he's played in the last couple of days, and he is not in Portland. So you're right. Mike Felger had it first.
Felger put his big J journalism hat on for the first time in 25 years.
Capital J journalist Mike Felger on the air. Now, we do not do journalism in this room. We do entertainment. And Mike Felger said, no, screw your entertainment. You take your entertainment and shove it. I'm going to put my big J journalist hat on, and I'm going to poo-poo this.
We aren't journalists, Matt. We are entertainers.
But, Jimmy, you're making my point. So there you had it. You thought there was a big trade coming, and there wasn't.
I have a theory on this if you're interested.
Yes, please give me your theory.
John Paul Morosi is in Detroit. The Tigers just traded Jack Flaherty. They were trying to get more for the all-star pitcher that they have. I think they were trying to use that. Somebody from another team told him that Anthony was scratched. He didn't bother checking it because why would you? Because you trust your team source. And so that was a tweet to get the Dodgers in this case or another team to up the price for what they wanted for Jack Flaherty.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, which means the Red Sox were probably in on Flaherty to a certain extent. They were probably in on most of these guys to a certain extent because that's who the Red Sox have become. The Red Sox are the team that's interested, and they're going to make some moves on the margins. Again, I don't want to come in here tonight and completely ignore the fact that the Red Sox got better in the last week, because they did. But they didn't do what you wanted them to do as a Red Sox fan. Listen, I've talked to you for weeks now. You want big moves. Why would you not want big moves? You want the Red Sox to be the Red Sox again. And tonight, the Red Sox chose to be something less. Doesn't mean that they aren't better than they were a week ago, because they are. They added 2 guys today to their bullpen. Again, if you just tuned in, breaking news at the top of the hour, the Red Sox acquiring right-handed pitcher Luis Garcia from the Angels. 12-year veteran. He's a decent bullpen arm. Career 4 ERA guy. He belongs out there. He belongs in a big league bullpen. So that's good and all. After they acquired Lucas Sims from the Reds earlier today. They got better. But did they get better enough? Did they make you believe as a Red Sox fan? They make you believe in this front office, in this ownership group, in the Red Sox? And my answer is a resounding no. And that should be your answer too. For weeks, they kind of hinted at the fact that they might do something big. They said they were going to improve the team, and technically they did. But Sam Kennedy said, we'll take on money. Without question, we'll take on money. Well, they really haven't taken on any significant amount of money. They've taken on some, which is more than they were willing to do last year. But is that good enough for you? Is this deadline good enough for you as a Red Sox fan? And I say no. I don't fault you if you agree with me. Generally, I would, based on my track record here. But how can you feel any differently as a Red Sox fan? To you at 617-779-0985 as we wait to see if there's any more information trickling in on the trading deadline. How about Martin in Texas to lead us off tonight? Hey, Martin.
Hey, Matt. I just want to say I'm a little disappointed because I would have liked a right-handed hitting second baseman that can hit lefties better, because we've been really struggling with that this season. But yeah, overall, I am disappointed, but I don't think there's something they could have done to solve it, because I think all the pitchers like Houck and Cutter Crawford are just completely out of gas, and that's why they've been sucking it up lately. But I don't see how they could have ever fixed that problem given the circumstances right now. They weren't going to get someone like Flaherty and another starter like Crochet. They weren't going to get those guys together. So, I don't even know. I'd give it a solid B-.
Yeah, I think B-, C+ is what the deadline is. I would lean towards a B-, but I think, Martin, you make an excellent point. They did address their bullpen need. I would say that's where the Red Sox were most successful at this deadline. They clearly and obviously addressed their bullpen need. I wish they did it a week ago, because they would have won a few more games in the last week, and that honestly might be the difference between you making the playoffs and missing the playoffs. But you're spot on about that, Martin. They did not address their need for a right-handed hitter in a significant way. Improving at backup catcher is fine. And I know they're saying, oh, Danny Jansen, no, he's an impact right-handed hitter. He's not. He's a backup catcher. You want to get better at backup catcher, that's fine. But they still need a first base outfield DH type to platoon with Yoshida. They still needed a platoon right-handed bat, and they did not get that. Would I have liked another pitcher? Of course I would have. But at least you did improve in your rotation. Say what you will about James Paxton, who is no great shakes, but he's a big league pitcher, which is more than they've had in that 5th spot for a while now. So they did that, but they did not address their need for a right-handed power bat, and I'm disappointed in that. You should be disappointed in that. Kind of a mixed bag for the Red Sox. You have something, Jimmy?
So, Matt, my question to you would be, they traded 4 of their top 30 prospects and got this type of return, 2 bullpen arms, a starter, and a catcher upgrade.
Do we have the
Is
return
that satisfying to you?
Do we have the return on Garcia at this point?
I believe it's Edison Paulino.
No, Paulino was traded for Jansen, I believe.
Then I don't have it yet.
Okay, yeah, I haven't.
Just
I haven't
so
seen
far,
it
it's 4 of their top 30.
Oh, I don't give a damn about 4 of their top 30. Not one bit. They traded 4 guys who will never play for the Boston Red Sox. This I'm totally on board with. I don't think they did enough. I don't think they were aggressive enough. But the fact that I'm not sitting here thinking about, oh, well, where's Nick York going to play next year? The answer is nowhere. Good. Trade him. Edison Paulino, Cutter Coffey, Ovis Portez. Had anybody ever heard of Ovis Portez before today? Of course you hadn't. No, I have no problems that they traded 4 of their top 30 prospects. That's what you should do. The whole, the top 30 prospect thing, give me a break with that. And listen, I probably come across like a guy who hates minor league baseball. I got my start in minor league baseball. I love minor league baseball. I subscribe to Baseball America. I nerd out about this stuff. But let me tell you something about the top 30 rankings. 27 of those guys, in the end, don't matter. And you should trade them. You should trade 4 of your top 30 prospects every trading deadline. You should probably trade more of them, to be totally honest, particularly given the position that the Red Sox are in. I have no problem whatsoever that they traded 4 of their top 30. I wish they traded 7 of their top 30. I wish they traded 10 of their top 30. And I wish they traded 1 of the real ones. Because of your top 30 prospects, you probably have 3 guys you'd really like to hold on to. Meyer, Anthony, and Teal. If you trade 1 of those guys, you maybe get a real impact major leaguer who's going to be here for a while. Front of the line, top of the, rotation type of arm if you trade 1 of those guys. But as we learned today, Roman Anthony was untouchable. It seems that Marcelo Meyer was untouchable. It seems that Kyle Teal was untouchable. That I have a problem with. 1 of those 3 guys should be gone, and they're not.
I have a theory on something that on the other side earlier in the show we should get to about maybe Anthony wasn't a deal until he wasn't in a deal, and that's because a team wanted the Red Sox to take on something that they didn't want to take on.
Is that a theory or is that an informed opinion?
That's a belief.
Okay, it's a Jimmy Stewart belief. We'll get to that. Stu's reporting on what happened at the Red Sox.
Whoa. Reporting. Calm down there, buddy.
Okay, Stu's belief.
There we go.
Stu's, does your phone believe this? Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I would say that my phone believes
your
it.
phone, Jimmy's iPhone, iPhone or Android? Your iPhone, right?
I'm an iPhone.
Okay, Jimmy's
Get
iPhone.
that green dot nonsense out of my face.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's iPhone believes something. We'll get into that and your thoughts. Overall, are you okay with this deadline? Are you underwhelmed at this deadline? Your temperature right now, I say you should be underwhelmed. It can be both of those things, right? The Red Sox could improve on the margins, and that's good, but you should still be underwhelmed. Can it be both of those things, Jimmy?
Yeah, but I'd prefer to pick a side.
Well, I am picking a side. I am underwhelmed while acknowledging that they did get slightly better. I think that's a reasonable opinion. I will continue to, I guess, fence it in Jimmy's opinion. 617-777.
That's not what I did.
No. 617-779-0985. McCarthy and for Maz on the Baseball Hour.
Stay tuned for
5 days. I think, the trading deadline is what you need to do to improve your team now. There's some arms out there that you're like, man, if this guy's here, that'd be great. But that doesn't guarantee you that you're going to win the rest of the way, right? If you think about the moves that we made in 21, the moves that we made in 18, they were good baseball moves, right? And put us in a different level, baseball-wise, and that's what we're trying to accomplish. It's very important for us, to get some arms, for the bullpen, and we talk about it the whole week. I think we have accomplished that, and I think we're better than 5 days ago right now.
What happens if let's get greedy? Where'd that go? Alex Cora coming out and telling you that the Red Sox are better, which they are. But nothing about this deadline was greedy. Everything about this deadline was measured and, fair market value and all of that. There was no greed involved in this deadline. Where'd that go?
Into Alex Cora's back pocket with his new contract and his hush money.
I do like your hush money take, Jimmy. They have kind of quieted him down a little bit. This is not the big deadline that
we're never going to hear him say Pablo Reyes can't play. He's not an everyday player ever again.
Well, not until he has his next
Unhinged Cora is the best version of Alex Cora, and we've now lost that.
Not until he's up for his next contract, Jimmy.
In 3 years.
You get 2 years of kind of quiet Cora. 2.5 years of quiet Cora. Maybe if they really suck, you can get them to, snap a little bit and go back to unhinged Cora. But yeah, so much for the let's get greedy thing. They did not get greedy, but they did get a little bit better. Here's the way to summarize this deadline, and it's McCarthy and from Az. They improved, but there was nothing sexy about it. They improved slightly. And in the bullpen, they improved, I would say, maybe significantly is too strong, but they most certainly got better in the bullpen, which is the number one positive takeaway for the Red Sox at this deadline. That became their biggest need in the short term, and they did address that. Not as quickly and as decisively as I wanted them to. Imagine where they'd be if they improved this bullpen a week ago. They could have saved themselves at least 2 or 3 games over the last week, but they got better. Luis Garcia in. Lucas, what's his name from the Reds? I keep forgetting it. Lucas Sims. I don't know why it's such a hard name to remember. Nobody can remember it.
I think of Lucas Giolito.
I do too.
And I think of Chris Sims.
Well, just let's combine those together for 2 guys who, actually can't really throw anything. Sims because he was no good, and Giolito because he's hurt. But that bullpen's in better shape. There's no doubt about it. The rest of it, didn't you want more? Didn't you want a right-handed bat? And Danny Jansen does not count. Danny Jansen does not count as your impact right-handed hitter. And you could have done a little bit more in the starting rotation. Wouldn't have hated that either. But I'm going to circle this as the big miss. The right-handed bat, the big miss of this trading deadline for Craig Breslow and the Red Sox. They needed to get better there. And when Cora came out earlier today and said, I think we're good in the lineup, we should have all assumed right there and then that they were done adding hitters. And they needed to add one more hitter. They got better, but they stopped short. 617-779-0985 to you early and often tonight. Let's go to Brian in Texas. You're up first. Hey, Brian.
Hey, McCarthy, thanks for taking my call. Hey, I agree with what you said for the most part, especially as a fan of the Sox, right? You want them to see do better and make better moves. And I'm not here to pump the tires of the front office. I'm not a Henry fan, but I am a Breslow fan. But, he kind of gave the team some moves kind of in a good ratio to their performance on the field. I've never been able to secure a solid wild card spot. They're still very questionable for the playoffs. So if you rate the on-field performance as a C+, B-, I think the front office kind of gave them the same thing with their moves at the deadline. And in terms of making a move earlier, I don't know. They'd still be 1 or 2 behind in the wild card. And I don't know. I can't blame the front office on this one, given the play on the field.
Yeah, it's kind of a lukewarm deadline for ultimately, I guess, a lukewarm year. I think it's greater than that because, the expectations entering the year were certainly far worse than this. But you're right. It is the type of move that you would make for the 7th best team standing-wise in the American League. I just wanted more. and you should have wanted more as a Red Sox fan, because once again, you are the Boston Red Sox. At what point are they going to decide to be the Boston Red Sox? Because they have consistently for years decided, we don't want to take advantage of our financial resources. We don't want to be as aggressive as we once were. The Los Angeles Dodgers went out and traded for Jack Flaherty today. That's who the Red Sox used to be. Pursuing something, pursuing wins, pursuing pennants, pursuing World Series. And they certainly went farther in than they did under Chaim Bloom. I mean, I can say that today. Craig Breslow certainly did more than Bloom would have done in this scenario. At least he actually tried to help the team a little bit. They might not be sexy moves. They might be moves on the margins. It might be a C+, B- type of deadline. That's more than you would have gotten with Bloom. So I guess that's an incremental improvement, but you should want more. I want more. I deserve more as a Red Sox fan. You deserve more as a Red Sox fan. You're deprived of entertainment at times, deprived of fun, sometimes deprived of hope. Like, are you ever going to be that ever again? Are you ever going to be the Red Sox ever again? You should want that. Unfortunately, they don't. How about John in West Bridgewater? Hey, John.
Hey, McCarthy, do you think these moves solidify the Red Sox in making the wild card this year?
Yeah, because they improved in the bullpen. But I think they didn't do enough in the lineup, and I worry that that's going to hurt them. Their issues against left-handed pitching are real. And I think Breslow should have been more aggressive in addressing that. They're better today than they were 5 days ago. Cora's not lying when he says that. This should keep them in the hunt-ish. But are you going to be on the outside looking in by a game or two? Because you didn't add even Luis Rengifo or somebody who can help you. A right-handed bat is a switch hitter, but is better from the right side. I hope we're not sitting here a month from now, 2 months from now, at the end of the season saying, man, if they had just done a little bit more, if they had made one more move. Because it feels like they did stop short at this deadline. They're better, no doubt about it. This should keep them in it. It's going to help them win some games here, particularly with that bullpen help immediately. You should see a difference there. So that's good. But is it going to be enough? I worry about that. I don't think it's enough. How about Robert Newton? Hey, Robert.
Hi. My question was, is there any way do you guys read anything into the moves the Rays made? Because they're only 2 games behind the Red Sox, and they gave away 2 of their better players under 30 with Arozarena and Paredes. Do you think that, obviously the Orioles and Yankees are going to be good for the next few years, but do you think that means maybe they think the Red Sox are also going to be good? Or
I think the Rays are being the Rays. And let's never, ever look into what the Rays do as indicative of what anybody else is doing. No, the Rays, feel the need to buy and sell all the time because they're the small market team. They're doing Rays things, all right? And that doesn't have anything to do with whether the Rays think the Red Sox are on the rise or on the fall. No, trust me. You already lived the Rays experience with Chaim Bloom, who didn't pay attention to anything that anybody else did. At the trading deadline, when everybody else would get better than the Red Sox around the Red Sox, Bloom would tell you, no, we can't worry about what the competition is doing. We can only worry about ourselves and keeping our sustainable model for the future. Everything the Rays are doing is about the sustainable model. It has nothing to do with the Red Sox, the Yankees, or the Orioles. Ferd in Worcester. Hey, Ferd.
How you doing, Matt? Hi, Jimmy. About the trade deadline, I'll be honest with you, Matt. I'm disappointed. I think they should have done more. You look at teams like the Yankees and Baltimore and even Kansas City and the moves that they made. I don't think the Red Sox did enough, to be honest with you. Your thoughts?
I mean, I look at what Seattle did, acquiring a guy like Arozarena, and I would say that's the type of move the Red Sox should have been in on. Right-handed hitter with some term. They didn't address their right-handed hitting problem, and that should be your biggest frustration, outside of your biggest macro frustration with the Red Sox. Like, in the moment, you want to get nitty-gritty. What did they do? What did they not do? Your biggest problem should be with the way they approach the right-handed hitting in the organization at this deadline. Your bigger overall problem should be is that the Red Sox still remain out of the market on the big moves, the sexy moves, the exciting moves that make you feel good as a fan. The Red Sox clearly still have no interest in that, and that's a problem. How about Dean in Shrewsbury? Hey, Dean.
Hey, I actually don't think it's a problem that Red Sox aren't interested in, like, the sexy moves. I don't think now is the time to go all in for a championship, which is basically what you're doing every time you go over the luxury tax. You're giving yourself really a 4-year period to contend. So I don't think getting one of these bigger salary players would have worked. I would have liked to take on salary without giving up prospects. Instead, we took less salary back and gave up prospects when we're nowhere near the luxury tax. And I was wondering that Roman Anthony deal that Jimmy was talking about, whether that would have put us over the luxury tax.
Dean, they're nowhere near the luxury tax. Stop focusing on the luxury tax. Stop focusing on the money when it comes to the Boston Red Sox. The money should never be the issue, all right? But they've decided not to be the Boston Red Sox, and that's the frustrating thing. 617-779-0985. It's trade deadline night. You know what it also is? It's Trivia Tuesday night. Trivia Tuesday. Here's the deal. We're going to take the first two callers at 617-931-0985 for an opportunity to win a $50 golf gas card. Hey, fuel things up. I have a trivia question, a Red Sox trade deadline related trivia question coming your way next. Once again, at 617-931-0985. Trivia Tuesdays presented by Golf. Download the Golf Pay mobile app for everyday savings. Golf, it all starts here. Red Sox-related trivia question coming your way. An opportunity to win some stuff. Here's Majori with your update.
Sports Hub headlines.
The MLB trade deadline has passed. The Red Sox got a pair of relief arms at the deadline earlier today. They acquired reliever Lucas Sims from the Cincinnati Reds in exchange for pitching prospect Ovis Portez. They also acquired Luis Garcia from the Los Angeles Angels. According to Sean McAdam of Mass Live, the Red Sox are sending 4 prospects to the Angels for him. No word on the names of those prospects yet. Other big MLB trades today. The Los Angeles Dodgers have acquired starter Jack Flaherty from the Detroit Tigers. San Diego Padres traded for closer Tanner Scott from the Marlins. Patriots training camp, Matthew Judon was not present at Patriots practice today, and according to Phil Perry of NBC Sports Boston, Judon was not at the Patriots facility, and there's a sizable contract gap between what the Patriots offered and what Judon wants. And in the Olympics, the legendary Simone Biles and the United States women's gymnastics team took home the gold in the women's team final. The USA women's 7-on-7 rugby team took home bronze in thrilling fashion. The bronze was the first U.S. medal ever in 7-on-7 rugby at the Olympics. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. I'm Kevin Majori on Boston's Home for Sports 98.5. The Sports Hub, your next update in a half hour.
Stay tuned for more of the Baseball Hour on the Sports Hub.
Roof Shield Metal Roofing.
A quality metal roof with a lifetime warranty for a better price.
No moss, no maintenance, and no more ice dams.
Roof Shield is the last roof you'll ever need.
Schedule now with 4 years, 0% financing.
See our shingle and compare our price at roofshieldmetalroofing.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Dirk Bentley, Gravel and Gold Tour. They all know why I'm getting drunk.
Tuesday on the Baseball Reporter. This is where your baseball knowledge can lead to fabulous prizes. And now here's your host, Tony Mazzarati.
Not tonight. Definitely not tonight. A big baseball week, but it's the summer of Maz, so he's out. So you get me, McCarthy, all week on the Baseball Hour. Fair warning for you. We do have details on the Red Sox trade for Luis Garcia and what they gave up. This is interesting. We'll get to that momentarily, but it's Trivia Tuesday, the best night of the week on the Baseball Hour. Maybe that's a little strong. We have Carabas night. We have Milliken night, so I wouldn't want to poo-poo Milliken night. That's for sure. But this is always one of my favorites. We're going to take the first two callers right now for Trivia Tuesday, 617-931-0985. Trivia Tuesday is presented by Golf. The winner is going to score a $50 Golf gas card. Trivia Tuesdays presented by Golf. Download the Golf Pay mobile app for everyday savings. Golf, it all starts here. So here's what we do. I pick up the phone. We're going to go to our first contestant. If the first contestant does not get the question right, we go to our second contestant. We then go to the third. We then go to the fourth. And if we get to 4 and nobody gets this question right, then I'm deeply disappointed in all of you, and I walk away from the table. And I make sure Jimmy Stewart gets the gas card. I make sure he gets handed that.
I'm ineligible.
I threaten the sales guy, Adam Moscatel, or whoever the sales guy is for this, and I make sure that Jimmy Stewart gets his gas paid for. If you nincompoops, let's just try that again. Nitwits. If you nitwits can't get this figured out. Alex and Beverly, you're going to be our first contestant on the Baseball Hour tonight on Trivia Tuesday. Hi, Alex.
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
What's up? All right, here's the deal. This is your question. I need you to name 3 players for me, okay? I'm going to ask you for player 1, player 2, player 3. Here is your question. Name the 3 players acquired by the Red Sox on deadline day in 2004. Player number 1, Alex.
Doug Minkiewicz.
That is correct.
Orlando Cabrera. And Dave Roberts.
Boom! There we go.
Let's go.
Alex and Beverly has represented himself well tonight. He's already shared all of his information, so we're good. I can let him go on that.
I put him on hold.
All right, Alex is on hold. We always like it when the first contestant gets it right. Congratulations to Alex and Beverly for answering that question. I did have to dumb it down. I have to say that's the type of question that every Red Sox fan should get. You all should be able to answer that. But a couple of weeks ago when I did my Trivia Tuesday question on who started opposite Pedro Martinez in the 1999 All-Star Game, and you all fumbled and bumbled and stumbled around with it, that made me unfortunately think less of you as our beloved audience. So I did need to make the question a little bit easier tonight. So there you go. Alex from Beverly, the winner of our Golf gas card. $50. That'll get you a long way. There you go. 617-779-0985. We have details coming in on what the Red Sox gave up for Luis Garcia. If you missed the beginning of the program, 6 o'clock, Red Sox making a deal, acquiring righty Luis Garcia from the Angels. 3.71 ERA this year, 5-1. Let's just bring up some of his other stats here. 43 2/3 innings pitched, 40 strikeouts. Does not walk as many as the guy they got from the Reds today, Lucas Sims, who has some walk problems. So the Red Sox improving their bullpen. They gave up a pretty decent little price to get this guy. Rental, 12-year veteran. They gave up 4 prospects. 4. Including shortstop Matthew Lugo, who I want to say was a second-round pick a few years ago. Matthew Lugo, who's, I guess, now playing some outfield because, again, the Red Sox have way too many shortstops. Let's see. Matthew Lugo was a second-round pick in 2019. So Chaim Bloom's, no, that would have been Dave Dombrowski's last draft, 2019. That would have been. Matthew Lugo, the number 13 prospect in the Red Sox farm system, and 3 other guys going to the Angels for a rental bullpen arm. Jimmy Stewart, too much? Did they give up too much?
I mean, if these guys are never going to make the major leagues, then probably not. But Lugo's 13, so now you've dealt away 5 of your top 30 prospects.
That's right. York, Lugo, Pauline, you've dealt away 3 of your top 15 prospects at this deadline to acquire James Paxton, Danny Jansen, Lucas Sims, Luis Garcia, and Quinn Priester. You've given up 3 of your top 15 prospects to do that. Is that too high a price? I ask you, Jimmy.
It probably isn't, but I don't know. I think I was looking for like more like ribeye than flat iron steak.
Yeah, the names aren't big enough for you, and you're disappointed as a Red Sox fan, and you should be disappointed by the lack of excitement and, dare I say, entertainment value around this deadline.
Like these would be if we were in the Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz era. These would be nice complementary pieces. This would be help because you're on your way and you need extra arms for a championship. This feels like extra arms just to get through and hope to get in the playoffs.
But you know what? That's okay. That's what they should be doing.
But they better make the playoffs, Matt.
Yes. Yes, of course they better make the playoffs. The Red Sox better make the playoffs every single year. With 6 teams now making the playoffs in each league, there is no excuse for the Boston Red Sox with their resources to ever miss the playoffs ever again. It is so beyond easy to make the playoffs in baseball nowadays, and the Red Sox haven't done it in 3 years, and that's not good enough. I am totally fine with what the Red Sox gave up. And here's what I like about this. This Luis Garcia trade is upsetting all the right people. The Millicans of the world are saying you gave up too much for a rental right-handed pitcher, a rental bullpen arm. You are so wrong about that. You are so wrong. Tell me where Matthew Lugo is going to play next year, Jimmy. Where's he going to play?
I mean, they have a hole at second base.
But they really don't because Trevor Story's coming back and Marcelo Meyer's knocking on the door of the big leagues.
So shortstop.
Well, he's not going to play there because one's going to be Story and one's going to be Meyer.
Well, he can also play left field.
Yeah, and you've got Rafaela and Roman Anthony, who we learned today is untouchable, according to John Heyman, and Jaron Duran, and you're going to need a right-handed hitter, so you're probably going to bring a guy like O'Neill back or repeat the Renfroe, Adam Duvall, Tyler O'Neill revolving door of veteran right-handed outfielders. So it's not going to be Lugo there. He's not playing anywhere. And that's what people don't get about it. I guarantee you this deadline is going to upset the prospect people. How could you possibly give up 3 of your top 15 prospects for James Paxton, Danny Jansen, Lucas Sims, Quinn Priester, and now Luis Garcia? How could you do that? To which I say, why wouldn't you do that? You're too obsessed with these prospect rankings. I can't say it strongly enough. Your top 30 prospects, only 3 to 5 of them matter. Only. The rest of them are filler. Get rid of them. What are you laughing back there, Stu?
Tyler Milliken has checked in on Twitter.
Okay, what does he say?
He has aggregated somebody else's report, so that's what he does. Mm-hmm. And then he says, this market was steep.
Of course the market was steep. What do you people not get? The market is always steep. Don't ever come at me with, the prices were high. Of course the prices were high. John Henry said so 2 years ago. Baseball players are expensive. Yes, get used to it. Get used to paying a high price. But here's the thing. That price that you just can't bring yourself to pay. You cannot bring yourself to pay Matthew Lugo, who is not going to be anything for you. Anything. You can't bring yourself to pay that price to try and make the playoffs. Oh, screw you. Screw you. Oh, wow, the market was really steep. I am so sick and tired of hearing that every single year. The market was steep for the Red Sox. The market was steep around baseball. This is why you don't add. Damn it. You add because you're the Red Sox. I don't think the Red Sox added enough. They didn't get a right-handed bat. I'm upset about that. But I am not going to come in here tonight and talk about how you traded Matthew Lugo, Nick York, and Edison Paulino, who's a guy you've never heard of, a guy I follow prospects. I've basically never heard of that guy. And you're going to tell me you gave up too much? Nobody ever heard of Ovis Portes before today. How about Moises Bolivar? Had you ever heard of that guy? Gilberto Batista. These are guys the Red Sox traded.
Oh, he's a movie star. He used to be a wrestling world champion, Batista.
Oh, really? I think of Danny Batista for the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks. That's the Batista I think of. You see, you go to wrestling, I go to baseball from 25 years ago. Both equally as nerdy. You people who think this is too much, God, wake up. What's the matter with you?
I mean, didn't they trade all the Rule 5 guys?
Yes. They're going to lose these guys for nothing. What do you not understand? But people, this is the problem with the Chaim Bloom era. This is the sickness, this plague, this illness invaded some of you. Oh, it's your top 30 prospects. What do you not understand about the top 30 prospects? Almost none of them are worth anything. Most of them are filler. Most of them are to make trades to improve your big league team. I would make the argument you didn't improve your big league team enough, but at least you tried. At least you did a little bit of something. And you're going to sit here complaining that you traded Matthew Lugo and 3 other guys for a bullpen arm who's going to try and help you make the playoffs this year? Oh, screw you if that's your attitude. God, you're the problem. You're the issue. What's the matter with you? Milliken, I like you. I like you too much. Bad take. Oh, boy, the prices were really high. Yeah, did they get better or did they get worse? Yes or no? Tell me. Did the Red Sox get better or did they get worse? To me, they got better.
Tyler has just tweeted again.
What does he have to say?
Another aggregation, Rule 5 guys, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of it, he says, good way to handle this market, Craig Breslow.
So he has to come out and defend. Yeah, what is it, Milliken? Is the market too steep or is it a good way to handle it? What is it? 617-779-09.
Tyler, can you define FIP for me?
FIP is similar to ERA, but it focuses solely on the events a pitcher has the most control over. Strikeouts, walks, hit by pitches, and home runs. It entirely removes results on balls hit into the field of play.
God, I hate that so much. So no, it doesn't matter if you hit the ball into the field of play, which the last time I checked has been the goal of baseball, really the name of the game, since Doubleday was running around in the fields of Cooperstown. But let's just ignore when the ball actually gets put in play, and this is going to determine whether or not this guy's good or bad. This Luis Garcia, though, that the Red Sox got tonight, Jimmy, you said he's even on his FIP and his ERA. They're right in line?
Yeah, it's marginal.
Okay, so there you go.
It's like 0.34 difference or whatever.
Okay, so it's very small and minuscule, which is why he was worth 4 prospects, which upset some of you out there. 617-779-0985. I see on the line. We'll take care of you. We'll do a baseball hour lightning round next. full deal for Luis Garcia. We have the 4 prospects. It's McCarthy in for Naz tonight. Matthew Lugo, which we knew, he's the big one. He's the 13th overall prospect in the Red Sox system. First baseman Nico Cavadas, pitcher Jefferson Vargas, and pitcher Ryan Zefferjohn. So some actually noteworthy names. Not that these guys are anything special. I'm going to tell you right now, not that they were going to ever have an impact for the Red Sox, but these are names that are known in Red Sox prospect circles. This deal is going to upset a lot of people, but it does not upset me. Not one bit. Not one bit. None of those guys were ever going to have an impact for the Boston Red Sox moving forward. They added a guy who can help them in Luis Garcia. I have no problems with that. We got 90 seconds. We're going to do the fastest lightning round ever because you're all on the line. Jim in the car, go.
I like the move for Garcia, but you said, when do we have hope for Red Sox fans? Not until we become sellers, but not of the players, till the owner sells.
Okay, there you go. Alex in Connecticut. Alex.
Yeah, I'm disappointed today. They should have addressed the bullpen last week. They made a statement by signing one of the best managers in baseball. Go out and get Guerrero. Get Guerrero to pound that wall, and then you make a statement to the league.
Yeah, they're better, but they're not better enough, and they didn't give you reason to get excited as a Red Sox fan. They're incrementally better. Mark in Washington. Hey, Mark.
Hey, guys. I just want to say I think Cora tipped his hand the other day when he said that don't be surprised to see Connor Wong playing the field at first or second. So I think
doubt, and I got to let you go on that, but Danny Jansen is not good enough. That's not an important enough addition for this lineup. They needed a right-handed bat. That's the real disappointment at this deadline. Joey and Palmer. Joey.
Hey, Matt. Met you at the Foo Fighters game. Sat behind you. Nice to meet you. Anyways, I like the deals. They were fine. It's just like when your older brother gets a new iPhone 16 and you get a 13, we just wanted more.
Yeah, I mean, you upgraded, but you didn't upgrade enough. That's how you should feel as a Red Sox fan. Mark and Merrimack. Mark.
Yeah, these moves just remind me of like when they went out and got Tommy Pham and Reese McGuire. It just doesn't make sense what they're doing. And then trading for a guy and sending him down to Worcester, how the hell is that going to help the team this year?
Yeah, well, it's not, but Nick York was never going to help you, so I had no problems with that deal. Screw Nick York. John in New Bedford. Hey, John.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So, they had Pivetta, they had Bayo, and they had, they came with not enough innings. They should have signed. They had Yamamoto on the deck. They had Corbin they could have traded for. Montgomery, they didn't want to sign it.
The offseason wasn't good enough is what you're getting at, John, and I would agree with that. That was a quick little 90-second, 2-minute baseball hour lightning round. I enjoyed that.
I think Michael Hawley would be proud.
I think, you know what? Strong to quite strong lightning round there. We'll try and carry that strength into tomorrow's program and do a good one for you. Maz is out all week, so you get me and Stu all week. We must have Jared Carabas at some point this week, I would assume.
Carabas tomorrow?
There we go.
Milliken on Friday.
There we go. Those are 2 good shows there. Thursday, I make no promises. But tomorrow and Friday will be strong. Looking forward to it. Majori's got you updated. Joe Murray's got you for the rest of the night. I'll see you around.